much stock just to have a turntable that plays the whole records without skipping. And I just think that what I've noticed when I've been checking it out, because the first time I tried it, I was at a friend's house, and he has this power supply that's from Ulbach. Costs around $700, and that made the attack a little faster in the sound, a little tighter, everything. And I do have some ELAC B5s here, and their pros are bass and mids. The pros are not really treble, and therefore I go for a little EQ. I put my treble on full blast, and depending on what record it is, if I was playing like I was playing a newer record with a lot of bass, I probably put it like quarter two. This record has quite a lot of bass as well, but it's kind of supposed to be a little over, so. And if I play 80s stuff, I usually put it like that, like if I play Howard Jones or Luther Vandross or Michael Jackson or stuff like that. I like the punch of that. Of course, you can always go without EQ as well and higher the volume. But I think this cartridge comes to better use when it's tweaked on the highs. That mostly being because I just think that the highs are very crisp and nice in this cartridge, and when you have a dynamic precision amp that I go on about, it really makes the speakers the best they can be, just like with good power supply. So, and I also really like the Cambridge CP1, which was the first phono stage I got that was external, and I really like it a lot. I think it's, for the money I pay for it, it's extremely good, and it works. I can definitely agree with people who don't want to go for MC cartridges, because then you start on a whole nother thing of using a phono stage that will match the cartridge, and that will be costly sometimes. But I do think if you look at these different threads of audio guys discussing online, there's kind of like there are some cliches going on, because there's usually a guy selling gear and he wants to sell for a big buck, and although he may be right about getting the most of it out of an MC cart, for instance a Goldring Elite or on ZYX, you can definitely get more out of it having a good phono stage or good amp or good speakers. That's all true, but then again, I had a lot of fun with my MC cart just using a Shitmani, so, and I still think it sounded fantastic in the mids and bass. However, you get a little bit more airiness out of it, and I'd argue that sometimes it's cake upon cake when you're talking about sound, because if you have a really good cartridge, you might not need a really good power supply. It can be good to have both of them good. I know that everything in the chain matters, but I do think there's a cake on cake thing happening at times. And the same thing goes for if you have a good power supply, then all of a sudden your AT150 MLX will sound so very good that it's not really a need to have a MC cartridge. You can't really justify it in bang for the buck, at least. So it kind of depends on what kind of economy you're going to put. Of course, it's always going to be like, how long is a rope? How much were you thinking of investing, and how much did you end up investing? But I found that you can do really well off used when it comes to speakers, to amps. But everything is gear, so gear can break. and it is what it is. It's not really about being new or old. My new sheet money broke really fast, and the Cambridge has been going for a few years now. So it's sometimes I wonder if it's just luck on that particular um, gear piece of gear that you bought, because there's a lot of high quality stuff that lasts a long time, and then there's just one piece of gear that doesn't. So you kind of recognize the same flaws with gear as soon as you go online and check out stuff about it. And everything that is hi-fi, pretty much, except or including, I guess, a smartphone and some good earbuds, is gonna have their fair amount of breaking, and I just think that if you are fortunate enough to be able to listen to music on good gear or average gear, you can still make the most out of it with what you have, I think. I just wanted to inspire a little bit with this video. I don't know really. I just did it on the fly. Didn't plan it too much. But that's kind of where I'm at in my audio journey right now, and I'm enjoying it again. And since I suffer from depression and ADD, I do think that sometimes you just gotta get your ass out of the wagon and listen to those records and be inspired and have fun. Because that's what it's about. I tend to look a lot at the technical and gear side of things lately, but that's also a passion, so I don't really see that as bad. But a friend told me to focus more on listening to records, and I'm cool with that. So I know you enjoyed, and I don't really use words as hope anymore. I think I do stuff. I excel at some, I don't at others, but I can have enough confidence to not hope for things or feel that it matters to be validated anymore about these videos. I mainly do them to maybe get on the same subject and have some kind of inspiration thing going, more than like giving advice that I think you should do at all times, because it can be very situation specific. And just like I talked about in another video, you can have this really good idea about how you want to solve things. Like for me, that was like getting the sheet money and getting a Technics, and both of those things went haywire just because of those particular gear pieces. So what is in theory good isn't always good in practice.